What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first edition of the live BunnyCam. I thought this might be fun just to relaxingly watch the bunnies play. And I'm not sure how long this will be, but I'm hoping that I might be able to switch the bunnies out. Right now we have Camilla and her son Fozzie, but I might switch and put Storm, who's over there, in here later. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope the stream quality is good. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section and I will try to get to them. Enjoy! Hello, guys. Hi. Okay. I'm back. FedEx just came, so I had to pick up some packages, but I'm going to head into chat and talk with you guys. Can you guys hear any outside sounds at all? Or just me typing on the keyboard? It's so loud. If you'd rather, I could put on Christmas music. I'm still working on perfecting this setup. I have a microphone hanging out the window, and I have all my cables going from my laptop in the bunny barn out the window to my camera. So it's kind of a work in progress. I just wanted to see how this would work. Can you hear me if I answer questions through the microphone rather than typing? Oh, Christmas music. The problem is I don't have good speakers and I don't have any way to send internal audio to this. Okay. Well, let me know if you can't hear me because I'm way faster talking than typing, especially on this laptop. I stole my son's laptop. He's supposed to be doing schoolwork on his Chromebook, so hopefully he is. How many bunnies do I have? Well, I have 8 that are going to be main parts of my herd, but I also have, let me see here. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I will have 8. I have an extra one right now that I still have to decide about Cora's two girls. I'm only keeping one of them. Bad mommy, because I don't know how many kids I have, right? Or that I stole my son's laptop. um, hey, happy birthday, Lacey. Thanks for joining us, guys. Tips on bunny mats. Gia, do you mean... I'm just going to turn the mic towards me because you can't hear the bunnies anyhow. Gia, do you mean like matting in their fur? A long-haired bunny? Oh dear. I just knocked the broom over. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Well, I don't have long-furred bunnies, but I have had a couple fuzzy Hollands in the past, and I would recommend a wide-toothed comb or a comb made for long-furred animals because you're going to need something smaller. I guess a brush with lots of close bristles just doesn't work well for a bunny that has long fur. Okay, glad you can hear me. Thanks. It's crazy. I'm just trying to make this work for you guys, and I'm glad it is. It's so exciting. Feed a bunny 2 times a day. Well, you wouldn't have to. I just like to because that way I can better monitor to make sure that they are continuing eating. So I feed mine in the morning I feed about an 1/8 cup. It depends on what food you have. I have the Sherwood Alfalfa Timothy mix. It's a free choice food, but it does have the alfalfa in it. I'm going to be changing to their free choice that does not have the alfalfa. I'm just using up what I have. So yeah, I feed an 1/8 cup in the morning and then an 1/8 cup in the evening if they've eaten that. And if they haven't eaten it, then usually I suspect that there could be some sort of stasis issue going on. And I test their favorite treats. And if they're turning their noses up at oats and parsley, then I definitely know something's wrong. And then I go into the protocol for stasis. And I have videos explaining that. You have a bunny that's chewed off part of his rubber mat. Well, he probably didn't swallow it, possibly little tiny pieces. The only way to know for sure if there was a blockage would be to take your bunny to a vet and have an x-ray done or an ultrasound. I'm not sure what they would use. Do I have any other pets other than bunnies? Well, yes, and you probably heard 3 of them. We have 3 outside dogs, 2 of which are German Shepherds, and they are running loose anytime that we're home. So when I have the bunnies out right now, some people say, aren't you worried about hawks and other predators? And not really. Well, there are trees and a porch kind of hanging over the pens, and I'm always checking on them. But the dogs are really good at barking when there are predators around. And we also have guinea fowl, and you might hear them. If they come around, you can't miss them. You've probably heard them in videos. They're extremely loud and annoying, and they will go crazy if there's a predator anytime, even a bird, raccoon, fox, coyote, something like that. So yeah, the dogs are very useful. I also have goats. I don't have a good way to show you them right now. My son has goats, and we have chickens that we use for eggs. We used to have turkeys, and we have farm cats. And then inside, I just have 2 cats, and then like a few aquariums. I won't tell you how many because it's embarrassing. Have I thought of beekeeping? My husband actually has, and we have hives, but we don't have any bees in them right now. So for those of you just joining us, the bunnies that you see are Camilla. She is the broken orange. So she's mostly white with a little bit of orange. And then her son, who is about 3 months old, his name is Fozzie. And I just introduced him in his name anyhow in yesterday's video. So if you haven't checked that out, you might want to go check that out. So Fozzie's the little orange guy. He's 3 months old. He's still living with his mom. He still nurses on his mom. I didn't think he did. And then I caught him the other day, and that's in the video also. It's so funny. Oh, Camilla's washing herself now. That's super cute. And then behind them, the little spotted guy in the background, that is Yoshi. And then the white bunny in the background that's running around like crazy, that's Storm. And I might swap and put Storm in there in a little bit so you can see her. We'll see. As long as Camilla and her son are moving around, I might leave them. I don't have a good way to get the camera to the others. Sunny Jim and Moose are also outside, but they are on the other side of the camera. Okay, again, if you have a question and I haven't answered it, feel free to say it again. Chat's going by so quickly. Or I could just play Christmas music and leave you guys. I didn't intend this to be a Q&A. But I'm happy to answer questions if you have them. Bunny pellets can attract rats? Well, I assume, any sort of, especially if they're grain-based, would attract rodents such as mice and rats. I've never heard of that being an issue, especially if you're keeping your bunny in your house. Cats can help with that. Actually, I have a problem with a mouse in the bunny barn here. I have a cabinet that has all sorts of storage items, but it has some wiring for the internet that runs through a pipe under the ground, and somehow they're getting in the one cabinet through the hole. Long story short, we've been having to set mouse traps in the cabinet. They're not coming in the bunny barn, but yeah, I have had some breeding tips for first-time breeders. And that varies by breed. Holland Lops are known to be a little bit difficult, and they're a little persnickety, a little finicky. Sometimes waiting for days like this where the weather breaks, that can sometimes help, but you just got to wait until they're in the mood. Putting them the male next to the female, that can help get the female in the mood. I like to put them in a pen together and watch them. And if I see a breeding happen, then I will leave them in there for a few more hours so they can repeat that. Tell us all the bunny names and ages. Yeah, you can even go to my website at ohiohollandlops.com, and I have pictures and names of all my bunnies. The youngest ones were just in yesterday's video, so you might want to check that video out. So Fozzie, the little orange guy that you see there, he's 3 months. The one in the background that's kind of gray and white spotted, he's a broken blue. His name is Yoshi. He's also 3 months. And then in the bunny barn running loose right now, I have Cora's 2 cream does, and they are also 3 months. And then other than that, they're all senior does or bucks, so at least 6 months. My oldest right now is Sunny Jim. He will be turning 6 here in another month. That's hard to believe. And then Camilla, the broken orange that you see out there right now, she's my second oldest. She will be turning 5 on the 31st of this month, so pretty soon. Oh, Diane says that Camilla or the baby, they were binkying while I was tending to the FedEx delivery. So FedEx, I feel sorry for them. We've had so many packages delayed, and I'm sure you guys have too. Just the number of online shoppers is always crazy big this time of year, but given the health situation, there are so many people ordering online, and the carriers just can't keep up with it. UPS has done pretty well, but the mail's been backed up. FedEx has been backed up. I just got a package today that was sent like 3 weeks ago, but the poor FedEx driver, I felt so bad for him. I gave him $20 the other day, just as a Merry Christmas. And when he came back today, he said, honestly, that made his day, that helped to restore his faith that there are still good people left. So no, that's my tip of the day. If you can do something to make somebody's day better, then strive for that. So just giving him $20, he remembered to tell me about that today. So that made me feel good, and obviously made him feel good. But I digress. All right, back to bunnies. Yeah, these are Holland Lops, if you're wondering what breed these are. These are Holland Lop rabbits. That's the only type of rabbit I have. Yes, some people who don't have dogs or guineas or something to patrol their yard for safety, you can get some sort of mesh screen covering for your outside run. You can do that, yes. Um, the problem is, it's kind of hard for you to get in and out unless the sides are really tall. But yeah, you totally could figure out something. I'm sure there are some ideas on YouTube and Google or Pinterest, whatever. The mail Jeep delivers your packages. That's funny. Yes, we have those little mail trucks. They used to use their own vehicles that had 4-wheel drive, which was nice because we have a quarter-mile long driveway. And like when we had snow the other day, that they wouldn't come down here. But yeah, now they have those little trucks. She made a delivery today just with packages, and she has to go back and deliver the mail later today. So I feel bad. And I gave her Christmas present too, the mail lady. So I have a Lops shop on my website, and I do sell items, and she comes and picks them up for me at the house and ships them through the mail. And so I gave her Christmas gift of money. It seems to work best. So she got that today. Camilla turns 5. Let me check her. Yes, she turns 5 here on the 31st. Our peacocks, good guard animals. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I've never had peacocks. I've wanted to get them, but they're super expensive. And I'd just be afraid that we'd, kill it or something. We have guineas and dogs. How many bunnies do I have? I have 8 that are the main part of my herd, and babies come and go. I only have a few litters per year. Why did I been a sucker for the lop ears? And Holland Lops are the smallest of the lop breed. And so that's why I chose them, and I really fell in love with them. So I stuck with them. The only other bunny I've ever had when I was little, I think I had a dwarf hotot. I'm not exactly sure. And then right before I got Holland Lops, I had a Netherland dwarf lionhead mix named George. Is red urine normal for rabbits? That's a good question. Yes and no. No, if you are seeing it constantly and consistently. Yes, if you see it on occasion. It can vary the time of day, especially what they've been eating. I've noticed after my rabbits have been outside and munching on leaves, sometimes they will have red urine, and it really depends on what you're feeding them and how dehydrated they are. It can be red, it can be orange, they could have yellow urine, sort of a clearish, whitish. Too much white can mean there's a calcium issue, but yeah, it typically changes color. But if you see red urine a lot, it's probably not blood, but best to go to the vet and get it checked out. They can do urinary testing. Is it okay for bunnies to sneeze? Again, yes and no. If it's just an occasional, especially if they have their nose shoved in their pellets in their food dish, or they're eating hay and there might be some dust. So occasionally, yes. My Sonny Jim, my rabbit Sonny Jim, he does that a lot when I feed him. He will just jam his face in there and he gets the dust and he will sneeze. However, a lot of you know what happened to me this past fall when I got a bunny, and she started sneezing, and we did testing on her. And this wasn't just occasional sneezing. It was throughout the day sneezing, and she did have some infections that we had to address. And sneezing can indicate snuffles or Pasteurella bacteria, which is highly contagious to other bunnies. So if your rabbit is sneezing a lot, definitely take your rabbit to your vet. And if you have any other rabbits, quarantine the one that's sneezing from the other ones, and be very careful about biosecurity, washing your hands, stuff like that. Okay. I know I'm missing questions, guys. Sorry. Oh, are they snuggled together? Oh, that's cute. All right, so Fozzie's flopped out. That's funny. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be kind of sad to separate them, but he's going to start mounting her, and we definitely don't want them having babies. So, you could. I mean, that's kind of status quo in the show breeder world, but I won't. So they're going to have to be separated eventually, but I'm hoping to keep him near her so they can still be close to each other. Do I think Timmy's watching over me? I hope so. And I have two of his grandsons here, so I like to think that he lives on in them. And I'm looking right now at the tree where he's buried, and I walk by it twice a day, at least every day, and I think of him. Yeah, I still miss him a lot. I think a lot of you do too. Any tips for bonding rabbits? I have a section on my website, ohiohollandlops.com. Let me take a look. I've got a section on my website. Hang on. About bonding. Okay, so if you go on ohiohollandlops.com and click on bunny info, and then the drop-down menu will have a bonding bunnies page. So I have a whole page about tips for bonding bunnies. And at the Midwest Bun Fest a couple months ago, there was a session about bonding rabbits. So I used some of that information I learned along with what other customers have told me, and I put that into that page. So go check that out if you're wondering. Okay. All right. Chloe has a female bunny. She's 4 months old, having a hard time trimming her nails. I have a video about nail trimming as well, and I'm usually trimming nails on my own, but if you can have somebody hold your bunny, that helps a ton. I suggest getting a towel and wrapping your bunny like a burrito, just so you can get access to the feet, and have somebody carefully hold your bunny. And you might have to hold firmly, but gently. You don't want to be, squeezing your bunny to death. And if your bunny has dark nails, you might need a flashlight or hold the nails by the sunshine so you can see where to cut. I hate trimming nails on some of my bunnies. That Sonny Jim is terrible about it. He whimpers and he has dark nails. So my husband just helped me the other day. He held them and I trimmed Sonny's nails. So getting somebody to hold the bunny while you trim nails can really help for bunnies who don't tolerate it well. Now, Camilla, the one you see in the video, she's really good about it. She's kind of a fat bunny, and so she doesn't struggle much. I can trim hers by myself, and she's got white nails. Bunnies that are broken, they have the white mixed with a colored spotting. They, at least in my experience, always have white nails, and those are a lot easier to trim than the darker solid color bunnies that have the dark nails. She just dashes out. Well, yeah, have somebody wrap your bunny tighter, like a bunny burrito. I have a stretchy waffle weave baby blanket, and I find that really holds them nice and tightly. And then you just pull out like one paw at a time, 1 foot at a time, and cut them. But yeah, it's not fun. Or you can take your bunny to your vet. Yeah, so, Amy says that her vet trims her bunny's nails for $15. Yeah, they know what they're doing. It's not their first rodeo, and that might be worth $15. Amy, how often do you take your rabbit to get them trimmed? I'm guessing maybe every month to 2 months. You hear that bird? That's a blue jay. All right, Amy says, if I trims his nails, so it's a courtesy once over. That's good. Every 2 to 3 months. Okay, so every 2 to 3 months. So let's say at the most 6 times a year. So yeah, I mean, it adds up. Let's see, 60, 90. So that's not that much money if it's really that much of a struggle to trim your nails. You have a doe. Courtney says, can she get another doe to bond with her? I suggest checking out my page on bonding. If it works out, it's great. If it doesn't, you have to be prepared to keep them in separate areas. And spaying, I highly recommend spaying and neutering. I think bonding is pretty much pointless without that. His ears are so alert. Yeah, so that blue jay just landed in the tree. I still see it. And when Fozzie heard it, his ears shut up. So some bunnies they retain a lot of ear control. If that muscle on the top of their head and the crown of their head is really tight, they maintain ability to really lift their ears up. And as he grows, fun fact, at least in Holland Lops, male rabbits or bucks, their heads continue to grow for the first 2 years, even though their bodies are pretty much full size way before that. So as his head continues to grow, his ears will probably lop more and relax more, like his mom's. There goes the bird again. Yep, his ears went up. Oh, and he's stomping. I think he just stomped. So bunny stomping, if you don't know, it's kind of like the middle finger. They're alerting other bunnies. They're not happy. They're scared. All right, what do I do with my bunnies when they are at the age where they don't need their mom? Well, I wean them. If it's a bunny that I am adopting out, then I will wean it right around no sooner than 8 weeks. There is a blue jay in with moose right now. I wish I could get the camera on that. That's hilarious. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I wean them, and if it's one like Cora, I'm keeping one of Cora's babies, and they're 3 months old, and they're doing well with their mom, so they're still with her right now. It just depends. Some moms get really sick of their babies, and they're either ready to be bred, or their babies are mounting her, or she's mounting the babies, and she's ready for him to leave. But Cora and Camilla both have been very content with their babies staying with them, and they seem to enjoy that. So who am I breeding next? Well, if you can see in the background, you can't really see Storm right now. She would be the next one. Storm probably with Moose. And I don't know when that will happen. I don't know when that litter will happen. This would probably be a good time to try it. But like I said in my video, babies are a lot of work. And they're cute and everything, but they're a lot of work. And it's rough having them in the winter because it has to be a lot warmer in here. And if there aren't many in the litter, then it's hard to keep them warm. Like what I went through with Camilla's single baby, and that was in September. And I had to use a hot water bottle, and I kept the nest box out and gave it to Camilla twice a day. So, and then I have to worry about finding them good homes because I really, their research, and I really want to try to keep my bunnies out of the shelter because I know that's why a lot of people hate breeders because there are so many bunnies and cats and dogs and whatever in the shelter. So I try to do what I can to make sure I find them the best, most responsible, lifelong homes. So that weighs heavily upon me too. And it's harder to enjoy the other bunnies when you have babies to take care of. So that was a really long-winded explanation. Sorry. 129 of you watching now. Wow. Thanks, guys. For those of you just joining, this is our first live BunnyCam. They're playing outside, and I probably won't be able to do too many more of these outside for a few months. We just happen to have a nice 50-degree sunny day right now. But just thought this might be fun. I was thinking of just putting the camera up with some Christmas music on my bag computer speakers. I don't know if you guys would like that better, or do you like the Q&A with the video better? You have to tell me. No, I've never owned a Netherland Dwarfs other than the Netherland Dwarf Lionhead mix. If you have bonded bunnies and you have, it's not abnormal to have some mounting, but I would make sure that they're both neutered. You say you have 2 bucks and they're bonded. I assume they're neutered. If there's some chasing, some mounting, that's okay, but you don't want to see ears pinned back, biting, pulling fur. That's what you don't want to see. Typically, it's easier to bond a buck with a doe or a doe with a doe than a buck with a buck, but it's not impossible. A lot of people do it. So yeah, the next BunnyCam will have to be inside here in the little pen, the one that Yoshi knows how to jump over. And I might just put Christmas music. I have to figure out, I might have to get some speakers. I don't know how to get the internal audio. Oh, there's Fozzie flopped out. He's pancaking. How high do they jump? Well, it depends on the bunny. The pens I have outside, the one that Camilla and Fozzie are in, that is a 30-inch tall. And they've never jumped over it. I have a 24-inch tall. I think that's the one in here, or it might be 28. And Yoshi can jump over that if he has a box. That's another thing. If you have items near the edge of your exercise pen, the bunny can move them there and then hop over. Most bunnies can jump on beds, yes. Yeah, Fozzie is energetic. Sunny, I don't know if I might move the cam here in a second. Sunny is munching on grass. You guys want to see Sunny Jim, or you want me to leave the camera? If you have a rabbit digging in her litter box, spaying could help because that is often a hormonal behavior, but bunnies innately do like to dig. You can try grate on top of the litter box as well. You want to see funny Sunny Jim? Okay. I'm going to go move the camera and see if I can get it pointed on Sunny Jim. I might have to adjust the lighting on it, so hang tight. Hey guys. The ears just shot up. Okay. Let me see if I can move it. Oh dear. All right. I got to get more cord. I'm out of cord. Oh dear. I'm pulling cords out the window. Okay. All right. Okay. That's Sunny Jim. I'm not sure if I can get a good view on him. Okay, so there's Sunny Jim. It's not the best. Thing is mirrored. That's so weird. Okay. How cold can bunnies be outside? Well, this is a difficult question to answer because honestly, it really depends on what your bunny is used to. If you have a rabbit that lives outside in a hutch, then they will grow a nice thick coat and become accustomed to the cool temperatures. And as long as they are sheltered from the wind and the snow and they have fresh water that's not frozen, they can tolerate fairly cool temps. I don't know how cold, and I think it depends on the rabbit, but they could live outside in the winter if they have good shelter. So when my rabbits, they're living inside and my heater is set at about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So when it's 20 degrees outside, I don't put them out. But if it's 30 something and it's sunny, then I will let them stay out for a while. And I've let them play in the snow before. I have a video about that. So this winter when it's, 30, 40 degrees out, then they will go outside. And when they're ready to come in because they kind of just sit there or they will run up to you and want to come out. So usually 1 to 2 hours and they're ready to come in and take a nap. It depends on the bunny. Some bunnies like Sunny Jim have boundless energy. Storm is active. Yes. So Storm, if you don't know, you can see her in the background there. She is the all white rabbit. She's a blue-eyed white and I got her this fall. And I believe she's deaf or very hard of hearing. So I think that's one reason why she's really loud. She throws things around, but she's also extremely active. And she is a year and a half. She'll be 2 this spring. So yeah, she's really, really energetic. My budget for getting a rabbit, I believe on the frequently asked questions section of my website, as well as a recent Facebook post on my page. I kind of have a budget written down for what I've spent on my rabbits. And it really varies. I guess figure out the food you're going to feed and how much you need to feed a day. Toys, the cost of housing, exercise pens, you need to leave a little budget for vet trips. Maybe some of you could chime in who just have one bunny. Do you have an average amount that you think you spend every month? I'm not sure what color Storm's babies will be. Because she's a blue-eyed white, she's masking whatever color she genetically is. And her pedigree says that she is genetically a broken patterned rabbit. That's the only thing I think I know about her. So who knows? And who knows what she carries recessively? So if Storm and Moose don't have any dilute colored babies, no blues, no gray colored ones, then I don't think Storm carries dilute. So by breeding her to Moose, who is a dilute, he's already 2 recessives for dilute. That should help me figure out if she carries dilute. $30 to $60 a month, Brooklyn thinks. 200. And yeah, it also depends on where you live. How much is vet care where you live? I guess my best advice is to take a look at some of the supplies you think you need. And I have a link below to my Amazon store and my website on my BunnyCare page. I have suggestions for items that people typically need. And you don't have to buy anything amazing, even just an exercise pen or a big dog crate, and then a room that your bunny can exercise in. You don't have to buy an elaborate setup, go with what you can afford. The most important is that you and your bunny are happy and healthy. Yeah, and hay is difficult too because it depends where you live. We can get hay from farmers around here, and sometimes we grow it. But if you have to order it online, like through Small Pet Select or another website, it can get pricey. But for only 1 or 2 bunnies, it shouldn't be bad. But when I was trying to buy hay online, when I can't source it locally, it's very expensive when you have 8 bunnies like I do, and they waste a lot too. And then we give that waste hay that the bunnies don't want to our goats. So there are some good ideas in chat for those of you looking for budgets. Thank you, guys. Yeah, DIY stuff too. Yeah, you can. I love to take like Amazon boxes, any cardboard box you get, and Storm, the white bunny in the background, her favorite thing is to shred apart brown cardboard boxes. She goes through probably 2 or 3 boxes a week. It's hilarious. And I have other bunnies who don't really care about that. So everybody is different. Allie, my best advice is to take your bunny to a vet. I'm not a vet, so I wouldn't be able to give you qualified advice on that. I'm sorry. Oxbow. Yeah, Oxbow has some good things. They have some good toys and some good hay. My personal suggestion is they only have a couple foods that don't have grains and soy and sweeteners. I think their Garden Select version is one. But some bunnies have a more robust digestive system and others are more delicate. So it really depends on your bunny. Some do just fine on the foods with soy and grain, but digestive issues, that's probably one of the most common ailments for bunnies. So I do recommend the Sherwood brand because it has no soy and no sweeteners. And I'm not affiliated with them. It's just what I use with my bunnies. But Oxbow does have some good ones too. Do you want me to switch the cam back? What? I can't even see Sunny. All right, it's too shadowy. Hang on, I'm going to move the camera. Oh, it's okay, buddy. Okay. Okay. What did I get my bunnies for Christmas? I'm trying to think if I bought them anything in particular. I make them fleece mats and I bring them parsley and cilantro. They love that. They love the digestive tablets from Sherwood. They have lots of toys. Stacking cups. If you've seen any of my rabbit room tour videos, you'll know that stacking cups are kind of like a meme. A lot of people have them, and a lot of bunnies really like them, and they're cheap. Gabba Dabba, I think I already addressed that question. I wean them, the babies, from the mom if they don't need their mom, or some of them stay with their moms for a while. Now there's a train. Your bunny pees and poops on his bed. Lander, I would think, is your bunny spayed or neutered? I'm guessing probably not. Spaying and neutering can help with completing litter training. Yes, stacking cups are the holy grail. Yeah. Truth. Am I keeping Fozzie? You'll have to watch the video I posted yesterday because I talked about that. See what I did there? You got to watch it. That's a good question about deworming of rabbits. I used to do that seasonally, like maybe once or twice a year, but since I don't do that unless I see a problem. The most common type of worms will be pinworms, little tiny white worms in the poop. And if I see those, then I treat. The problem is, unless you're using a natural wormer like supposedly grapefruit seed extract and pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin seeds can help. But if you're using, I think the most effective is going to be something like Safeguard. Equibits is what I use. It's a medicated wormer, but you feed that too often when the bunny doesn't need it. I've read the worms can become immune to it. So I don't worm unless I see a problem. All right, Lander says your bun is not neutered. Yes, when a bunny is not spayed or neutered, and a lot of people can probably chime in on this and with agreement, they have a tendency, especially when they get around 5-6 months of age and older, the hormones kick in and they mark their territory. They might start peeing and pooping where you don't want them to. Spaying and neutering really helps. And it can take a month or two after surgery for the hormones to subside. But in most cases, that helps a lot. Fozzie Shadow. Where did Fozzie go? Fozzie. Oh, gosh, that was the broom. Loose stool in babies. Well, you can give them some oats and that can help with the stool. But if they're probiotics can help too, but there can be some illnesses that need treated by a vet. So if you're any rabbit that's having diarrhea, I definitely recommend talking with your vet because there might be something that needs addressed other than simply probiotics or oats. If you have a question and I'm not answering it, it doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. Questions are popping up so fast and I'm only seeing a few of them. So you're not being intentionally ignored. I hope I have a litter this winter. Yeah. So if I have a litter, if I did, let's say I bred Storm today, who can tell me how long on average is rabbit gestation? When would I expect a litter? If I bred today, today's the 11th of December. About when would I expect a litter? Anyone? Hey, Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn and Amy, Shanna. Yeah, you guys are really close. And it depends on the breed. On average, 30 days. 30 to 31 is typical. I don't know if I've ever had one kindle at 29 days. So good job. You guys know your stuff. If you have a rabbit that's neutered and you're getting one that isn't neutered, again, check out the bonding information on my website under bunny info, and then I have rabbit bonding information. It depends on the rabbits, but that might not work out until the other one is spayed or neutered. And always, always, always when you're bonding rabbits, go slowly. Go very slowly. Have little short dates and keep your bunnies in a small area where you can quickly pull them apart if they were to get violent with each other. Polar Bear has a good question. So you have your rabbit and it has some poop that looks like little tiny blackberries or raspberries. They're all stuck together. They're dark and they're smelly. I know a lot of you probably know what are those called. And no, but that's not abnormal. That's totally normal. The little tiny poops, they're stinky, they're wet, they're clumped together. What do we call them? Yeah, Brooklyn, good job. Brooklyn, you are on the money. If I had a prize, you'd win it. Sorry. So they're cecotropes or cecal pellets, and rabbits will eat those, most of them. Baby rabbits are known for, there's a lot of them they don't eat, and they'll smash them around the area. But yeah, they have lots of nutrients in them. It's kind of like a probiotic. The rabbits will eat them, totally normal, and they're kind of stinky. The rest of the rabbit poop is pretty benign and easy to pick up and vacuum up or sweep up. But the cecotropes, if they're not eaten, they can get smashed around and they're kind of messy to clean up, especially if it's on like my concrete floor. It kind of gets in all the nooks and crannies. It's really gross, but yeah. If you have a rabbit and you're seeing a lot more cecotropes than normal, or kind of a little bit mushy poop, but it's not diarrhea, that usually means you need to change your rabbit's diet, feed more hay, less pellets, less junk, less treats. You feel like you're in a Zoom class, yeah. Except attendance is not mandatory. Neither is wearing pants. I'm not going to look. All right, guys, we're getting close to an hour. I got about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to shut it down because I think my camera might shut down after an hour anyhow. So any other questions? How do your rabbits not fight through the exercise pen? So yeah, I don't know if you can see, I have 3 tall exercise pens in the back that do share a common wall. What I had to do was I have chicken wire down at the very low, it's like a foot from the ground. I have chicken wire from the ground up to a foot. You know what I'm talking about? Bunny height. So it's really hard for them to get after each other. And I also am careful who I put next to each other. I never put 2 bucks next to each other out there because they would be most likely to hurt each other. So I have Storm in the middle. She's a female. And then on the outside pens, I have Yoshi, who's a buck, a male. And then on the other side is Moose, who is a male. So I have male, female, male. And poor Storm is in the middle, and she can't decide what boyfriend she likes best. And Moose and Yoshi, well, Moose is definitely interested in Storm, and Yoshi is too young. He's not really interested yet. So that helps a lot too. All right, any other questions? I'm trying to look through real quick. Yeah, Fozzie's cute. 134 watching. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch this. I appreciate it. Fleas or ticks, do I worry about them? I've never had an issue, knock on wood. I don't have much wood right here. But if you were to have an issue with fleas, there is a product, a topical product that you put on the top of their neck, base of their neck. It's called Revolution. It's prescription. And that can work for fur mites or fleas, just like you would for a cat or a dog, but you'd need to get that for a prescription. Ticks, well, that's one reason we have guinea hens. If you see those weird birds in my videos and they're really loud, they walk around, they eat bugs. And we keep the grass mowed really closely to the ground. So yeah, that's my best advice. I haven't had an issue. I think somebody else asked a question about worms, but yeah, worms, if your bunny has pinworms, don't think, I'm a bad bunny parent. That's not true. They happen. They can get them from the hay. If they play outside, they can get them. And they're usually really easy to treat. Usually takes a week or 2. You can get rid of them. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, Revolution. That works well. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone stays safe and healthy. And my next live stream will have to be in the bunny barn unless we have another warm day soon, which I'm not sure if we will. And maybe we'll do just holiday music instead of a Q&A. I'm not sure. It depends on what mood I'm in. I got to have my brain on straight to answer questions. So thanks for joining. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to post them below and I will get to most of them. That's what I do every morning. Right after I wake up, I go through the comments and I really try my hardest to answer them all. So yeah, it is about 50 in Ohio today, 50 degrees. It's so nice. So the bunnies are enjoying it too. So Fozzie and Camilla and the rest of the bunnies and I will sign off for now. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Got to get this plug in really quickly. We're really close to 100K subs, which is amazing. I can't say that enough. You guys are awesome because without you, I wouldn't have a channel or a motivation to keep going on this channel because it's a lot of work and being transparent and sharing all of this is difficult too because there are some haters, as you can imagine. So I like to share this with you guys. I think there are a lot of people who benefit from this type of video. So I appreciate those of you who support this channel through subscribing. So thanks again. We're at about an hour, and have a great day.